Ladies and gentlemen, it is finally October. You know what that means? It's not just spooky season, okay? It's not just Halloween and trick-or-treating and fun costumes and parties and whatnot. It means that the NBA is coming back very soon. I cannot wait for this season, man. There's so many moving pieces, so many new players and different teams. It's gonna be awesome. I mean, hell, the Karl Anthony Towns trade alone has made this season so much more fascinating to me. So with that being said, I've been thinking about teams that could potentially win the NBA championship this year, and there's obviously a lot of them. Of course, you have the Boston Celtics, who could absolutely repeat this year. I mean, they have most of their players, their core players are still intact. Hopefully, if they stay healthy, they could be a big problem and might repeat again. I mean, of course, you have the Boston Celtics. I mean, they just won the championship. They could absolutely repeat with this squad as it is. Philadelphia could be a very exciting team with the acquiring of Paul George. And then on the West, you've got OKC, who is still on the come up. You got Minnesota, who do have some new pieces. I'm not sure how good they're going to be, but Anthony Edwards is on the uphill too. And the Denver Nuggets, I mean, they got Jokic. They got the best player on the planet. I'm never going to count them out because of that alone. Now, for this video, I want to make a prediction, okay? I'm not saying I'm going to be right. I'm not saying that this is absolutely going to happen, but I think I have a feeling that I know who's going to win the championship this year, who's going to be the NBA champions this upcoming season. And it's none of the teams that I mentioned. But before we get into it, what's good, guys? It's DemiM7. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and when the season starts, your favorite player will go for 40. I know it. Now, again, let me reiterate, I'm not saying that they're going to win the championship or that I'm just saying it's a fact. I'm not saying any of that. I just have a feeling. I really think this team is going to find a way to get it done. Have all their pieces working together well, and they might pull it off this year. I am talking about the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know. I think I'm higher on this team than most people. First and foremost, I do believe that the pieces that they acquired during this offseason were decent. They weren't like mind-boggling or anything like that. They're not mind-blowing, but they were decent pieces. Now, look, there's two main reasons why I believe, or I have this strong feeling, that Milwaukee's going to figure it out and win the championship this year. That is coaching, and that's their two-star players. As far as coaching goes, listen, I'm not the biggest fan of Doc Rivers in the world. In fact, I kind of feel like as a coach in general, like throughout his career, he's a little bit overrated. I mean, look, no disrespect whatsoever. The guy is a champion. However, he has had some great teams that he has coached. And I mean, isn't he like the same guy that has blown the most game 7s or the most 3-1 leads in the playoffs? Isn't that him? I mean, really, what has the guy done since winning that championship with the Boston Celtics? He hasn't really done much. In fact, he has more lowlights than highlights as a coach since then. But with all that being said, I do think now that he's gotten a full offseason under his belt with his team, with his organization, a full training camp that's underway, I think maybe, just maybe, he'll figure out the best way to utilize Dame and Giannis. I'm not saying that he's a bad coach by any means. He's a very good coach. I'm just saying in terms of like the greatest coaches ever, he is a little bit overrated in my eyes, but he could redeem that this season. And that leads me to the obvious. It's Damian Lillard and Giannis Antetokounmpo. This duo right here, I can't believe that they can't be great. I mean, we all said it last year when Damian Lillard got traded to Milwaukee. I mean, their games, their style of play just complement each other perfectly. As far as Damian Lillard goes, I mean, the guy is still great, and he was proving that in the playoffs last year. He was getting buckets. Now, let's just think about it for a second. How many new duos or new big threes get it right on their very first season together? It's very rare. Throughout his entire career, Damian Lillard has never played with a player like Giannis. He's just not used to it. And the same thing applies for Giannis. He's never had a player as good as Damian Lillard on his squad, at the very least, offensively speaking. Now, look, I know the Milwaukee Bucks didn't look great last season heading into the playoffs, which is why so many people had the Indiana Pacers beating them. But if we're being fair, Dame and Giannis were both hurt in that series. Giannis didn't play at all. Dame played for like, what, 2 games? The fact of the matter is, both of them were hurt. Both of them didn't really have a chance to play with each other in a playoff setting where, historically speaking, both players have excelled. We've seen what Giannis can do in the playoffs when he won a championship. Now, I know he's had some bad playoffs too, don't get me wrong, but overall, Giannis has been very good in the playoffs, and Damian Lillard has been Damian Lillard. It was Dame time all the time in the playoffs when he was in Portland. It just sucked that he was in Portland. So with this coaching staff getting acclimated, with Giannis and Dame having a season under their belts, being able to communicate and work off of each other, I really do think Milwaukee is going to surprise a lot of people. Couple that with the fact that they still have Brook Lopez, who's solid, Chris Middleton, who's still solid, and you're looking at a Milwaukee Bucks team who can match up very well with almost anyone in the league. Now, look, maybe I am being a little bit more high on this team than I should be. I understand that. But when I think about Damian Lillard and Giannis playing on the same team together, I can't help but feel like they have to have some kind of Kobe and Shaq-esque sort of relationship on the court. Both players can absolutely dominate in their respective departments. Giannis is always going to be a force in the paint, and Dame can shoot from 40. But yeah, man, assuming everyone stays healthy in the playoffs, I am predicting that the Milwaukee Bucks are winning the next NBA championship. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. Who do you think is winning the title this year? Let's chop it up. And until next time, peace.